Y'all, welcome to another Woods Report. People just get a snippet of a person's life. They don't see the whole thing. Now this thing right here,
it didn't go live.
Yeah, it's live.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm waiting for the alert.
Okay,
here we go.
They only see a snippet of people's lives. They don't see the whole. Like what goes on before the camera comes on and what goes on after the camera goes off. Just so y'all know, people only get a snippet. So even though people can be who they are on film, you don't get the whole person's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what this is because before we came on, I was calling her stupid because she was saying she was cut off. Yeah. See, this is the one I want to know right here.
Actually,
this thing
too low, something.
Are you on now?
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that I was talking about. Just looking, that's all. Let me get out of this. But this one keeps popping up.
Specifications for live video on Facebook. So there's specs.
Oh.
You read that later?
Okay. All right. I'll leave that window open.
While you're recording?
Yeah. Okay. So this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Facebook Live. And
Season 14, Episode 4. Again, I don't know about this season. What do you think? This season is like...
It's really the Drew and... What's her husband's name?
Ralph. Drew and Ralph, I think.
His name is Ralph?
I think it's...
I didn't know his name was Ralph.
I think it's Ralph.
Ooh.
I think it's Drew and Ralph. But
it's becoming that show.
But it's like it's being forced.
Even her friend, the track star.
Yeah.
You can
they
see
even
she's
forcing
kind of
her
backing out like, ooh.
Yeah, they forcing.
I don't think I'm gonna be friends with her.
Yeah, so
she kind of.
Yeah, they forcing this. This whole season is being forced. Okay, so let's start off. It starts off with Marlo. She's showing Kenya and Sheree her building plans for her home.
For her new home.
And what did you think about that? Because Bravo being the shady character that they are.
They've been throwing shade at each other's houses as they were being
built
before.
But Bravo, I told you, is the other cast member this year. And they made sure to say underneath, while she was showing the plans, not Marlo's house. They showed the pretty house. And then they put not Marlo's house. So they shady. They being real shady.
Yeah, they are.
But what do you think about her building her house? First of all, she's in Decatur, so she's not even in Atlanta. So she's cheaper.
Somebody lived in Decatur.
So she's cheaper than her living in...
How far is that from Atlanta?
Well, she said I'm only 15 minutes away, but it's not. It's like living here versus living in Chicago or whatever. Okay. So they, and then she made a comment about how everybody keep thinking she rich. Where did they get that from? Her. Because then Bravo went back.
Clip of her.
That's what I told you. Bravo shady.
Everybody question where she getting her money from.
Bravo shady though.
Dancing,
yeah.
Sugar daddy.
Or that she has a lot of money. She makes it seem like she has a lot of money.
And for her to build that house.
Right. And see, for her to make a comment about why does everybody think I got money? Because you make everybody think you got money.
Yeah. And then when you buying all these expensive clothes.
Then she gonna invite Kenya and Sheree over, Sheree. And them shady when they was coming. Talking about they didn't have most problems with their houses.
Yeah.
If anybody to invite over, it would be those two.
Yeah, maybe tell her the do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
More so the do's than the don'ts.
So she did kind of come out positive when she said that. She wanted to hear more of what they learned.
She was happy Kenya gave her a compliment.
Yeah.
They being too buddy. And people are not used to that.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real.
Y'all come on, throw shade. Talk about somebody.
What's the deal with her closets being bigger than her bedroom?
I know. They talked about walking every room they'll walk by in her home will be walking by a closet.
It has a closet.
So but I kind of see her point because she does have a lot.
That's her business too.
Clothes.
That's her business. That's
her business. It's her life.
That's true.
She don't need a lot of space to sleep.
Yeah,
She's probably not a lounger. Maybe she has other areas where she lounges in.
Right. And then she said that below level is the boys, and upstairs is all her.
It's all her.
So apparently, according to
She's building according to these nephews. That's going to stay.
And it
with
was
her.
so funny because when that guy was talking, her builder, the guy who's a construction guy,
Yeah.
I was automatically thinking if he's single and are they gonna try to talk to him?
Yeah, she said that.
And then I felt that when they was talking, I said, I wonder if Kenny gonna try to holler at him.
So,
but then she said he got a
fiance.
fiance.
And you know that don't even matter.
I know. So
He can
then,
be married and it don't matter.
Right.
That's really sad.
so then the subject of Sheree's house arrest boyfriend Tyrone came up, and about is she gonna see him? And if they go to New York, he can only travel so far for his bracelet go off.
100 miles. Who wants to date somebody on house arrest?
Oh,
You gotta
my
meet him
goodness.
where he's at. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. This is over 100 miles, so we can't meet. Let me come closer to you.
And according to the preview, she was waiting on him.
I know, and something happened because the producer guy came out.
Maybe he was over 100 miles. He couldn't get there or
Who
something.
wants to date somebody with that much?
I
That's
guess
too
we'll
much.
find out.
Too
I
much.
guess we'll find out what happens
Is
next
she
week.
really that desperate? She can get anybody.
I think at this point she made a comment along the lines of she put so much into him.
That
It's
don't mean
almost like she
nothing.
waited on him because she kind of I guess was talking to him before he went to prison.
Exactly.
So it's almost like you
and then
talking
he
to
messed up like.
you talk to somebody before they go to prison, then you put all these years and whatever energy into this person. Then when they get out, you probably feel like, okay, I guess I got to stay with the program. I have no idea what's going to work.
Wow.
And then Kandi and we go to Kandi and Todd. They decide to go for a walk, which they never
have
do.
some struggles with being on the same page with his property.
Well, they talk about her play and inviting the husband and wives to come.
In New York.
And then he was saying while they there, they can go by New Jersey and see the place.
His condo.
Well, she keeps making it real clear it's his condo. It's not theirs, it's his.
But after people went there to see it, a lot of them sided with him.
Do you feel like she's wrong to say because he bought it with his girlfriend?
I thought
That
it was his
leaves
first wife.
No, it was his girl. Was he married?
I thought he was married to her and they divorced.
No, I thought it was a girlfriend. We got to go back and look that
He was the
up.
baby of his daughter, right? I thought they were married. And they
I don't
divorced and
know.
then he got the property because she didn't take care of it anymore.
Oh, something. Maybe, I don't know.
We had to look that
But
up.
the point is, whoever his
It
ex
was another woman with him sharing that place.
Do
And
you
Kandi
feel
didn't
like she
that.
wrong for saying I can't get excited about a place that you was with your
At
ex?
first, I was.
Okay.
At first, I understood where Kandi was coming from because if you had property with an ex and you built that property, in memories in that property was with you and her because they even made they was being funny about. I wonder what Todd and his woman did here.
Right.
And Kandi didn't want to hear that. So she probably like, honey, just go on and you take care of that property. Let it be your own.
Right.
You know, whatever. I don't need to be a part of the dream.
Right.
But then when they got there, all of them came and they looked at the property, I see where they were saying, you can make it into a gym.
Watch the shaking.
You can make it into something else where together you guys can still receive the monies and benefits from having that property. Wipe away the memories of what it used to be, totally renovate it, and use it because that's property in New York.
And they was New Jersey. And
was
it was
in New
showing,
Jersey?
They was
They
in
were
New
in New
Jersey.
York.
They was in New Jersey. And it was also showing that they had a really nice view.
Close that one too.
They had a really
that was
nice
a Jersey
view,
view. That wasn't New York.
A view of the city
skyline
and all of that. They saw the view of New York because they was on the other side of the water.
It was nice.
So that's
I didn't think about that. They could make it a gym. They could make it into something else. It didn't have to be a place where they go and lay their head.
Right.
And I see what Kandi was saying. I don't want to sleep here. I don't want. This is where you and your
right.
women before me was here.
But I think he don't want to make it a gym. I think he wants to make it another place where they can stay when they come to New York. Because he kept on talking about they was only 15 minutes away and all of this other stuff.
Now that one has to be make a decision on because let's just say for sake of argument, he does renovate it and make it really a nice condo. She probably won't stay there.
No.
And
then they was kind of sly. Sheree and them was saying that he cheating. And that'd be like his bachelor
place
pad.
to go there.
Yeah, that's his bachelor pad.
That would make, to
me, where's the receipts? If you talking, I want to see some receipts.
Okay.
Because she was quick to pull out her text or whatever about Drew's husband. Where's the receipts on Todd?
Okay.
If not, you just talking. That's how I feel.
That's true.
But then but Shady Bravo went back to Portia. When Portia was saying about him, give me another name. You saw that? It did a flashback, and they had Portia telling Kandi he uses another name when he goes there.
Yeah.
But again, receipts.
Exactly.
Other than that, you just talking.
What's going on back there?
Yeah. So anyway,
and then they hollering when they first got in the bus because she made sure that she had everybody be picked up because they always
late.
Atlanta Housewives.
And Kenya was mad because she said she thought it was a couple's
But
trip.
the stupid knucklehead Kenya, she got to understand Margot don't have nobody.
Sheree didn't have anybody either.
That's
she
three women with no men.
She won't. Yeah, what is she talking
about?
They showing Kenya being more sensitive on this one, if you notice.
Cause she divorcing.
Yeah.
Get your life right.
And again, her daughter, when she was saying put the stuff in the suitcase, the daughter just throwing stuff in the suitcase. You supposed to fold it. How's she gonna fold it? She's 3 years old. See, Kenya's
12 for me.
Yeah. But her daughter looked just like her. She can't get away from that.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones where if you don't like him, that little girl looks just like him
every day.
She see him every single time she look at that little girl.
Yes.
So
like I hate your face.
Right. So then we go to Drew's Drew's assistant. They showed a little when they were showing her in the house getting ready. They had a little thing under there. Drew's assistant on probation.
Ooh.
Again, Bravo being shady.
Trying to get rid. He claims he's going to get rid of her when they were
No. This is the Anthony boy that said that was messy. That's supposed to be Sharice. But when they come back from this New York trip, they fired him
because he had a photo of.
But he didn't. Her husband. She never told her husband.
Yeah.
That guy said that he's gay.
Yeah, he's gay.
So when they come back, he's going to get rid of him. He's not going to let him stay there.
I'm wondering if they because Bravo can try to make him stay there because he is drama.
Oh well,
he adds drama.
But you can tell she didn't tell him. But you can tell by the way he responded to Sheree saying that the assistant said he was gay. He didn't know he said that. He said, "Who said what?" So he didn't know. And why would you not tell him that?
I don't know.
See, that's when they was getting. Okay, we're jumping ahead. Hold on.
Okay.
Because when they was on the dinner, they got on him, and then they got on Drew.
Yeah.
She plays a part in that.
That's what Kenya ended up saying.
Yeah.
They were right about his problem,
but she got problems too.
And they said, "Well, Drew, you also a part of this too, so
right?
Because she's not clear with her communication as well. So yeah.
So before we get to the dinner,
that's why Drew's friend, the track Sonia. Yeah. She's kind of like back and slow.
She don't want to be guilty by association
because she seems like a good person. She got a good.
They just trying to make something. There's nothing with her and her husband.
Find shade on her.
There's nothing.
They're too perfect.
There's nothing with her and her husband. Her husband is the nicest guy.
This show is attracting mess.
It's nothing.
It has to be messy.
And neither one of them are messy.
And they're not even showing her family anymore. I thought
for
sure they were showing family.
But hold on, okay. So before they go to New York, Drew and her husband meet with Dr. Ken.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that Dr.
And they go over.
Was saying, don't.
This Dr. Ken.
Don't mention my name.
This Dr. Ken was like almost like ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put because what happened was they was going back and forth about who did what, and he was just sitting there like listening to them and then he tried to act like he was telling on Drew by saying she told me you said I was crazy or something. A maniac. Now, I'm gonna paraphrase the doctor. Don't worry about what I said. Keep my name out your mouth. That's pretty much what he said.
And he's looking.
Y'all got too many problems to be talking about what I said to either one of y'all.
Thank you. That's true.
I paraphrase what he said. He was much more professional.
He pretty much said that.
Don't worry about what I called you. Don't worry about y'all talk to each other and keep my name out your mouth when y'all go home. He the doctor.
I never heard a doctor, psychiatrist, or a counselor say that.
Yeah, so he gave my name out your mouth.
When you in those counseling sessions, you bring up the doctor,
right? But normal
Doctor so and so said we shouldn't be doing this, and you're doing it again.
A regular doctor, not a ghetto doctor, would have been like, "Well, I said that in confidence to her, and I didn't think she would share that with you."
Use it against
this was the don't worry about not what I said. And he said it in a nice way, but I'm just paraphrasing it. Keep my name out your mouth.
Yes, he did.
Don't worry about what I called you.
Uh-huh.
Y'all need to worry about how y'all talk to each other.
That's funny.
So
So probably
then
get
he
some more
said-
clients from that one.
Yeah. So then he said, I'm gonna give y'all, he was almost done. He said, I'm gonna give y'all a 30-day challenge. You
Okay.
can't be negative to each other. You can't say nothing.
Right.
They was negative at the dinner. They
There
already
was
broke
nobody
that.
even caught it.
I caught it.
Oh, nobody caught it and said to them because they told them what
Y'all
their challenge
already
was.
broke the challenge.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but they can't be negative to each other. If they negative to each other, then one has to do what the other one says for 24 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Be their slave or something.
slave or whatever for
Servant,
24
servant,
hours
uh-huh.
or whatever.
Okay.
So it can't be negative for 30 days. So that was his thing that he gave to them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's
apparently he
their
was
assignment.
sleeping, Ralph, her husband, was sleeping in the kids' bedroom. They wasn't staying together in the room with each other because he was still angry with her.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so that was that whole thing with them. So
Yeah.
now, we go to Kandi sending erotic gifts to Kenya,
Ooh.
Sonia, and
They
Drew.
had they had an invitation to the Kandi. Of course, is going to do her Kandi coded
Right.
sex gifts where she had
A half-naked woman. Well, they were bondage people.
Is it
S&M.
S&M dressed half nude, half naked.
No, it was naked. They had it on their little pasties and stuff like that.
Yeah. Meeting at the door, doing the invitation to the party.
Kenya didn't like it. Kenya thought it was tacky.
If it's coming from Kandi, what they expect?
Everybody thinks Kandi is a freak.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she keep
That's
wondering
why
why
when she got
everybody
mad
keeps thinking.
at the last episode. She got mad at somebody writing
Right.
that she did, with
Yeah.
some little sexual things
In the men's
in
locker
the
room or
locker
something.
room or something. Why
Because
would you not think that?
she's always erotic and stuff.
Yes,
But what did that have to do with the play, though? That's what, like Marlo said, why you giving me vibrating, why would you give somebody vibrating panties? What does that have to do with the
And
play?
Kenya's like, am I going to be wearing these in New York?
Yeah,
What is the
that
purpose?
was
It had
stupid.
nothing to do with her play.
Nothing.
Because
That's
her
what
play was something about a man or something.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
So then they on the party bus. We said that Kenya saying couples trip.
Yeah.
Then they go to the apartment, like you said. Everybody was for the apartment, trying to get Kandi behind being excited about this
And
apartment.
they had a really nice suite. And they went around and asked each couple
if you could get the most
erotic story of their where they had made love, and Kenya won.
I think Sonia and them said they had made love on the plane, and somebody said no, you
Join
didn't.
the.
Drew said no, you
No,
didn't.
no.
She was cracking on it like I don't even think they make love in bed. Like they so sad. She was kind of making it sound like
But they all was like, join the such and such club,
the
right?
Mile High Club,
Because they all have done that, right?
oh, I don't know.
And then of course Marlo going to make up one.
Marlo made up
Right.
something. A zoo. She said she
Yeah,
did it at
and
the
she
zoo.
said the giraffe licked her.
And then Kenya, Kenya's
Right.
story was made up too. Talking
You
about
think it was?
she was with some hunter and they was hunting coyotes.
And he shot one,
He
and they
shot
thought
and
it
they
was
followed the
dead.
blood trail and they made love
And
out
then
in
they
the
heard
woods,
some
and they
noise.
lived and they followed him. That was a lie.
Well, she
And
got the
Kenya
wrong-
said it was a lie, but it was so well put together. We'll go ahead and give you
You'll
the
give
go
you the
ahead and
sweet
give you the sweet. So that shut Kenya up for a while.
Yeah, okay.
So that was the coyote thing. Sonya
Okay.
had to talk about Drew situation to add drama. Because there's no drama with them. So it's like Bravo said, you gotta add drama.
Yeah, they added it.
So her and her husband, he's sitting there, he not saying nothing to nobody because he's a good guy. He's not saying nothing. He letting her talk about Drew.
Right.
And he's just like, oh, okay, all right.
All right.
And you can tell he's sitting here going, wow, how are we getting on this? Why are we on this
Kenya
stuff?
was like, when he was kind of like ignoring her, getting ready to ignore her, Kenya was saying, don't do that to me.
What are you talking about, Ralph?
Yeah, Ralph.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
his name.
Not
Ralph.
Sonia's husband. He's nice.
No, he's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
He's
Ralph.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of stuff they're gonna stir up with him.
I don't know.
Are they gonna try to do like they did with Kim Fields when she was on?
They already did that with Ralph by saying he gay.
Well, they messy anyway, but Kim Fields and them didn't have any problems, and
I don't know.
they lied on her husband.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to do anything with this guy. Let's him say something.
Okay.
So then we said that. Well, you said they drummed up the thing with Todd cheating, and is Kandi not liking that apartment because she thinks that Todd's gonna be having women there? Probably. They was kind of insinuating that's why she's not getting behind this New Jersey apartment.
Okay.
Marlo called Kenya a bootleg contractor because when Kenya went into the apartment for Todd
Right.
and Kandi,
Uh-huh.
she put a little hat
I
on.
know.
And she was saying all the stuff
She
they
was
could
giving them
do.
ideas on how to fix it.
Knock this wall out.
And make that focus
Get
wall
rid
a
of the
fireplace.
spiral staircase.
Yeah, she
and
had some good ideas.
put an elevator.
They didn't
and
need spiral steps.
redo the whole
I
kitchen.
can honestly say she had some good ideas.
Right.
It probably was a lot of money.
And
but,
then and
an elevator.
Right, and Kenya said she a bootleg contractor.
Right.
So that was funny.
Okay.
Ralph, he fired the female assistant.
Okay. He had to.
Yeah.
He had to.
Yeah.
She was messy.
And at the table, when they went out to dinner, he was kind of making reference to Drew needs to get over it. And that's what Kenya took offense to. Like, you acting like she's not valid for feeling the way that she's feeling about this.
If he's saying that she needs to get over it because he's fired her and now she's out of the picture.
Right.
Then leave it alone and then now let's start. I kind of see even what the doctor was
That's
telling
what the
her.
doctor was saying.
He was saying, I even told you when we talked about this last season.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I was telling you she was not recognizing the moment.
Right.
She's not a moment person. And that bothered me.
Yeah.
Because he was aside of the messiness in their relationship
Mm-hmm.
and the stuff he needs to get, better at, communication on both sides, because she's not an innocent either.
Right.
He wanted that moment.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cherries I'm giving you and the food I
Well,
made
that's
for
what we
you.
were saying when
I
Kenya
don't feel it's faking.
when they was on the table, when they was at the table eating for dinner, that's when Kenya started on him, saying that he don't listen and he doesn't validate, and the way he talks to her is down. And she felt like that's how Mark would talk to her. And
Yeah.
Shady Bravo went back to
To
the past
old
and showed
clips,
all
yeah.
the clips of Mark
But he didn't
talking
do much of.
down
I didn't
to
get
Kenya
that
or
from
whatever.
the comments that he made about Kenya. It wasn't so much like what Ralph.
That was Shady Bravo trying to kind of
They was like forcing a conversation that
they
Kenya
was
and
forcing
had.
him to be like Mark, and it
He's
wasn't the
not.
same.
He's
No,
not, no.
But they was forcing it. But then, who was it that said that got on Drew first? Was it Sonya?
What do you mean they got on Drew?
That made everybody start talking about Drew at the table, because it wasn't Kenya. Kenya was on
I
him.
think it was Sonya.
I think it was Sonya that said, but Drew plays a part in that.
Yeah.
And then, see, they making her, they trying to make Sonya be messy.
They trying to stir it
So
up.
then that made everybody at the table start turning on Drew.
Right.
Like, you play a part in this,
And
Drew.
she does. They're
Yeah.
right. It's not one-sided when your relationship is rocky.
Yeah.
Both of y'all are causing some issues.
And
here.
it was funny because Todd was just drinking his beer. He wasn't saying, now, how many seasons has Todd been on? Since he was a producer before he became on
Todd
the
had
thing.
issues when he first came on with that mother-in-law.
So Todd,
So he knows it just
so
kind of
Todd was just drinking beer and just back laughing like, this y'all season.
right.
We didn't get through enough, so you would go through.
And they got Kandi and Friends show, so
Yeah.
they got a lot of that too to keep
Yeah.
it going.
So that's basically it. Upcoming, we saw that Sonya gonna get more into the whole thing of not wanting to
pushing
be
back from being Drew's
friend,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like Sheree's gonna be stood up by her boyfriend.
Her dude that's
out the prison.
Yeah, because he seemed like he's problem still.
And then it looks like what else was it?
I don't know. There's not much shade going on because
Nah.
the only thing with Kandi and Todd, they getting a little rocky.
Yeah.
Because they're not spending time with each other and they are away a lot.
Yeah,
with
but that's the
different
same as what I
businesses.
said about
The other
on
show.
the other show.
Right.
If that's Monique, if that's the worst y'all can find is their
Right.
communication,
Exactly.
then they're fine.
Yeah.
It's
They
other
haven't been
people
showing
that
their kids.
whose kid?
Candies. They haven't shown
Oh.
a little boy now. And
Yeah.
Of course, her daughter's
Maybe
fine.
because they on the other show. Are they on another show?
I haven't seen them.
Okay.
I haven't seen them.
Well, maybe they just don't want to. The whole
We've been seeing Kenya's daughter. And,
yeah,
And Marlo's
nephews.
but
So we'll see how this goes. So far, again, this is
they're really pushing
they
for
really-
the show to
yeah,
last.
they really are.
And it's not a lot of drama. It's not a lot of messy. It's not a lot of what's the word when you say it's messy.
Now next week, I believe Housewives of Dubai starts, so we can watch that.
See how that is.
And we'll do previews on that because Phaedra shows up on there.
What? How is that?
I have no idea. People were saying Phaedra shows up on the Housewives of
She
Dubai.
must be friends with somebody.
I think they probably bring her there because she's a familiar face, and this is a new franchise.
but
so
she must be friends with somebody.
yeah, but I'm saying because one of the ladies are not. None of them are from Dubai. They just live there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So somebody is her friend, her
yeah.
cousin
But
or something.
it's to get us to watch like how we watch Love and Marriage because of Monique.
Yeah. Okay.
People gonna watch that if they see Phaedra.
Okay.
They gonna be like, oh, okay, let's see what's going
Let's see
on.
what she doing in this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think that's the way. It's like the bridge. It's like back in the day when you would do spinoffs, and you would see Grady come over to Fred Sanford, and then they do Grady show.
Right.
So it's
It didn't do well
or
either.
Florida Evans was what's her name's maid, Maud. Wasn't that Maud's maid? And then Good Times.
Good Times.
So it's the same thing. So
Okay.
the Jeffersons was on All in the Family. Coming over to All in the Family.
Would you consider this like that though? Because she's just going to be on there, as a guest?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying a familiar face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to
Okay.
bring you in there.
Okay.
Okay, so that was it. Did you have anything else?
No, ain't much about this one.
Mama watched. Did you have anything to say, Ma, about Atlanta
It's
Housewives?
kind of boring, isn't it?
Did you like it?
It's okay.
It's okay, right? You liked it better when Nene was on there?
Nene, Mama said she was even talking about, not Phaedra, the other one, with the P. Portia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you even missed Portia.
Miss Portia
And Nene.
They were more mouthy and involved and messy, so shade throwing. Those are the shade throwers.
So that was it. So anything else? All right, guys. So that was, and remember when you go off, for some reason when we turn this off, the thing still records. So that is another Woods Report. And see you later.